Hello, I'm Officer Tony Macias.
And I'm Officer Kim Horton.
We're officers with the Washington State Liquor Control Board, the Enforcement Education Division. And today we'd like to talk to you about some important rules and regulations, and then take you on what a typical liquor premises check might look like.
Hey, Tony, before we get going, I'd like to just bring up a couple topics that are very important for everyone to know. First of all, your business is subject to inspection at all times by law enforcement. Failure to allow an inspection is a violation. Also, the hours of operation for alcohol service are 6 a.m. through 2 a.m. Between those hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., alcohol cannot be sold, served, consumed, removed, or delivered to your business. Shall we go inside?
Yes. Upon entering a liquor license premises, one of the first things we look for is to make sure you have the required signs. For an on-premises location, the required sign you need to have is the pregnancy warning sign, fetal alcohol syndrome, both at the entrance to the premises and in the ladies' restroom. This is a restaurant that also has an age restriction area, so they have to have a no minors posting sign and also a no firearms sign. When we enter a premises, one of the things we typically do is identify ourselves to the manager or staff. Today we're easily identifiable in our uniforms, but typically we might be in plain clothes. One of the ways we identify ourselves is with a business card. Let's go say hi to the bartender.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Officer Tony Macias with the Liquor Control Board.
And I'm Officer Kim Horton.
Hello. One of the things we'd like to do today is conduct a routine premises check and talk to you about some common rules and regulations. One of the first things I look for when I enter a premises is check and see if you've got a Class 12 mandatory alcohol server training permit.
I do.
Thank you. Do you also have a picture form of ID I can check? This is required of all managers, bartenders, and servers that serve alcohol. And you go to our website or you find a provider that you will take the class from. Do you have employees that are under the age of 21?
I do.
Okay, any employee 18, 19, or 20 that serve alcohol must have a Class 13 permit. It's the same process to get as our Class 12 permit as well.
I see that you have your master business license clearly posted on the wall as required. It might be helpful for you to know that items such as all of your liquor endorsements are posted on it, and also it shows your expiration date as well.
So I'd also like to talk to you about public safety. You are responsible for all the conduct on your licensed premises. Some of the common public safety issues you might run into are over-service. It is not legal for anyone who appears intoxicated to possess, consume, or purchase any alcohol. Now, appears intoxicated, that could mean prescription medication, that could mean marijuana, or that could mean alcohol. But once they appear intoxicated, they cannot be in possession, consume, or purchase alcohol. You also cannot allow marijuana to be consumed at any place on your licensed premises. You can't allow any disorderly conduct or any criminal conduct to be allowed on your licensed premises. Also, you can't sell or serve anyone who's under the age of 21 years old.
Now, can we accept the paper copies of their ID?
That's a great question. Yes, you can take paper temporary Washington driver's licenses and IDs, as long as it's not expired and you can clearly see the photo, the signature, and the date of birth. You may also accept any ID card, instruction permit, or driver's license from any U.S. state or Canadian province, U.S. military ID cards, merchant marine ID cards, tribal enrollment cards from Washington State, and any official passport from any nation. Now, your business may choose to restrict this list, but you may not add additional forms of ID that I haven't mentioned already. Since we're talking about IDs, let me talk to you a little bit about compliance checks. Compliance checks are a tool that law enforcement agencies use to check for youth access violations. We have underage investigative aides that work for us, and we will send them into your business and they will attempt to purchase or order alcohol. All you or your staff have to do is check the ID of anybody who is youthful in appearance, and the investigative aide will either tell you they don't have an ID or they will give you their real, true vertical driver's license. We're not trying to trick you. They are not dressed up to look overly mature, and we don't hire investigative aides that are overly mature looking for their age. If you have any questions about IDs or you need some extra training, please don't hesitate to contact your local enforcement officer and they'd be happy to help you.
I have a 19-year-old employee. Can he come into the restricted area to do his duties?
That's an excellent question. You do have a off-limits area to those under age 21, so no one under the age of 21 can ever be in this section of the premises unless they're an actual employee. Employees 18, 19, 20 years old can be in the licensed premises in the course of their duty, but they can never be assigned in the actual off-limits area. But in the course of delivering messages, refilling ice, or picking up and taking drink orders, they can be in the off-limits area.
Can we have a 18-year-old musician performing in the restricted area?
Musicians, disc jockeys, sound and lighting technicians who are 18, 19, and 20 years of age are allowed to work in an age-restricted part of your business during the course of their duties. There are some restrictions on this, so I would definitely contact your local enforcement officer for specifics if this applies to your business. So if you do have live entertainment in your dining room, such as karaoke, dancing, or if there are contests, let's say where patrons are participating, and you want to do this after 11 p.m., you either need to decide if you want to ask for permission from the Liquor Control Board to reclassify your dining area to 21 and over, or you need to notify the Liquor Control Board at least 48 hours in advance that you would like to stop the service and consumption of alcohol in your dining room, thus making it all ages for that. If you decide that you want to have male-female dance reviews or live boxing, wrestling, contests where patrons are going to be participating in the entertainment, or if you're going to be open between the hours of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., then you need to notify your local enforcement office at least 5 days ahead of time in writing before these activities happen. One last thing I will say about live entertainment is lewd conduct is prohibited on the licensed premises. So there should be no exposure of genitalia, and there should be no sex acts, simulated or otherwise, happening on the licensed premises.
Now I'd like to talk to you about some miscellaneous laws that we encounter. You cannot sell or provide alcohol for less than acquisition cost. This is commonly seen in a happy hour where there might be a sign that says, on a home run, you get a free drink. That's not allowed.
Also, you may not substitute drinks, and all spirituous liquor must be served by the individual drink.
Let's talk some business operations for a moment. So if you ever decide that you want to change the business structure, let's say you want to add an LLC member or remove one, or if you want to move from, say, a sole proprietorship to a corporation, these are things that have to be approved ahead of time, and you need the approval from the Liquor Control Board to do that. Also, if you decide you want to change your trade name or make an alterations to your approved floor plan, these items also need prior approval. As far as business records are concerned, you are required to keep all financial records that reflect the financial transactions and the financial condition of the business for 3 years. An example of this would be where you buy your alcohol from an approved source. Also on that note, make sure that you are paying for your alcohol prior to or at the time of delivery. You may never accept alcohol on an extension of credit like an IOU. Do you have any questions?
I do. Can we have beer signs in our windows?
Yes, you may have signs in your window. You may have no more than 4 signs facing the public view, and they can't be any larger than 1,600 square inches. Do you sell kegs to go?
We do.
Do you have a keg book I could look at?
I do.
Great. Anyone who purchases a keg must be over the age of 21. They have to have a valid ID, and they have to fill this out completely and have a signature, and then they have to have this sticker affixed and attached to the keg at all times. And speaking of alcohol to go, I wanted to remind you that alcohol can never leave the premises in an open container unless someone were to purchase a bottle of wine. We don't want customers to feel they have to finish the entire bottle. So it is okay to put a cork in the bottle and then go ahead and have them leave with it. Do you have any questions for us?
That's it.
Okay, well, it's excellent meeting you.
Thank you. Very
Nice
much.
meeting
Nice to meet you too.
So that's what a typical premises check might look like.
Now we encourage you to browse our website at lcb.wa.gov for more information. Or you can contact your local enforcement officer for more specific questions. Thank you.
Thank you.